Every other day, I'm trying to look for proofs and to look for things that I can be able to use to prove to people and to prove to the world and to every black people and everybody that Ibrahim Traore is a leader, and not just a leader, but a leader who has the qualities of a leader. But until when you'll finish listening to the video that I'm going to play for you, everything that I will speak will start making sense. Without further ado, let's get after it.
The role of the teacher is a priest. The role of the teacher is very complex. You may not realize it, but I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to give you new missions. Your role as a teacher is very complex in the sense that you must give knowledge to the youngest, instruct. Remember that a nation that cannot instruct the youngest, educate them, is doomed to disappear. This nation will never know peace. Your role is very complex because in addition to giving knowledge, you must also educate the children. You must be their parents. You must teach them the right way, what is good and what is not good. You must instill the values of our society in them. I wanted, through the Minister of Education, that you go to the museum to resource yourself with our cultural values. This is very important for you. And we therefore have values on which Burkina supports itself. Values of integrity, values of honesty. You must instill these values in the young people you train. You must be their parents at the same time. In addition to that, I want patriotic values to be instilled in the youngest. Today, more than ever, our nation is facing difficulties that it has never known in its history. And to win, we need to have patriots, citizens of tomorrow. And to have these citizens, these patriots, your role now becomes to train pioneers. Teach them to love their country. Teach them to have confidence in themselves. Teach them to love their loved ones. Teach them to live Burkinabe. This mission is now yours to evolve. Teach them everything you can teach them so that they are very good citizens of tomorrow and that they ensure the relief. Your role is very complex because you must play the psychologist now. In your classes, you have children who have lost everything. You have many children who have lost their parents, who have lost their families. You have children who have experienced atrocities. You have children who have been witnesses to hate crimes, who have been traumatized, who have been shocked. You must play the psychologist. You must make sure that these children forget this violence, become themselves again, and instill in them everything they need to be citizens of tomorrow. So understand why I say that your role is very, very essential and full of priesthood. Dear teachers, you who represent the world of education here today, those who give the knowledge, those who must educate in Burkinabe values, those who must educate in patriotic values, be saluted once again. Take your job to heart because the future of our nation depends on you. If you educate these young children well, we will have a better Burkina tomorrow. And if you fail, our country will fail. Remember something. The imperialists are leading what they call today the fourth generation war. The main objective of this war is to ensure that for generations and generations, our nations can never be built. They want to make sure that these children grow up in a climate of terror, of violence, which does not know how to distinguish good from evil. And only you, by playing these teachers, can bring them to distinguish good from evil to be good citizens. Because for them, if the children grow up in such a climate, we have several generations who will never be able to make peace, who will kill each other because the rule for them will be war. Look at some nations in Africa who have never known peace for decades. This is exactly what they did there. And make sure that in Burkina Faso, we are not in this situation. The future of our nation rests in your hands, and I ask you to take this mission in your own hands and to transform our relief, our society, so that we have citizens worthy of this name tomorrow. And you promise me here that you will do it. Thank you. Thank you very much. To you, dear students, as I said, congratulations for this hard work in not easy conditions, but you were able to pull off your role. Through this day, you motivate your comrades to be there next year in your place. This is a healthy emulation, and we wish you good luck and a lot of courage to all. So be worthy of Burkina Faso. For those who have known the effects of this barbarism, make the effort to stay with your comrades and be supportive. Those who have not known this situation must be the ones who advise others, who lead others to have fun and forget this situation. Make sure to be supportive, to be integral, to be men of value. Respect your parents and your elders and work as much as you can. Respect your parents because you must also help them. We often talk about certain texts that forbid the work of children. It's good, but I can tell you that our society is built on values. And in these values, you must do a minimum of work for the parents. I, who you see in front of you, I plowed for her, I watered for her, I sold her baths, my comrades made fun of me because it was women's work. I did it. It didn't stop me from being first in my class. It didn't stop me from being who I am. Help your parents, help them in their tasks, and especially during these holidays. Learn to work, learn to do something with your 10 fingers. It will help you at all costs. In your schools, the environment must be clean, your classrooms and the environment around you. Make sure you are always clean, to plant as many trees as you can, and your teachers will accompany you to train you in the minimum that must be done in agricultural production, especially in vegetable gardens. Wake up in you this Burkina Faso. Wake up in you this love for the homeland. You can and you must bring all your comrades who are very good citizens, and I count on you so that you can be the engine that will pull your comrades to excellence. And as for you, parents and government members, I would say we have a mission to train these young people, to support them. I can tell you that when we lower the fever of this war and that we will control our military expenses, we will have to invest a lot in certain areas. We have stratified the areas, the functions, and in the first layer are, of course, our defense forces, our internal security forces, the teaching world, the world of health, and the world of agriculture. So we can take care of improving the living conditions and the work of the actors of this world that I mentioned. The four main areas that I just mentioned. The other layers will come gradually. This is why we have launched several initiatives, both in the field of agriculture, in the field of education, health, and also community development. And through these initiatives for education, we want to build our schools, our universities. This is why I would tell you to put the package so that we can set up these elite schools so that these brains don't end up outside. Because for a long time, the imperialists have always driven the brains here through the stock exchanges. And when they get angry, they don't come back to the country. I don't want these brains that are here to be able to walk and to be able to set up the polytechnic and technological universities that we need. so that these children can express their talents and work for the benefit of our country. This is our mission. And finally, to the valiant forces of defense and security, and to the volunteers for the defense of the country, I would like to thank them and pay homage to them here, to study and to know today this day of excellence. Thanks to them, Burkina Faso stands, and so we can only thank them. And through these two FDS, which were recipients of decorations, you will understand that they have given everything during this year so that children in their area can access education and have good results in exams. Congratulations again to all the FDS who are fighting for our country. Their sacrifice will not be in vain. Through your symbolic gesture of contribution to the effort of peace, it is a message to all Burkina Faso to continue to contribute. Because the more we equip ourselves and train ourselves, the more the enemy does it. And we will go in a growing way so that our forces can be the best possible. To the brothers of the AES who came to accompany us, we say thank you. And we hope that we can merge our intelligences so that our elites can be taken care of in a convenient way to serve the states of Sahel, and that these states are a model of integration, of development in Africa and in the world. Thank you very much to all for this day, and I wish you all a good return from where you came from, and I hope that you have learned a lot through the Russian circuit that has been proposed to you, and that you will leave enriched with your Burkina culture. Thank you all. May God bless Burkina Faso. May God protect our forces of defense and security. The country or death will overcome us. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Comrades, teachers, and laureates of the world of education. Dear parents and parents of the ceremony, I hope that all the laureates have arrived safely in Ouagadougou and that the stay is going very well. We thank God for this, and above all, we pay a vibrant tribute to our FDS and VDP guardians, thanks to whom this ceremony is possible this morning. A ceremony of excellence, school, under a theme that calls us all. But before continuing my speech, I would like us to take a minute to pray for the rest of our comrades who have led us forward. Thank you. Actors of the world of education, this morning I would like to say thank you and congratulations to all from the bottom of my heart. The young slammer who passed has left you a message quite penetrating, and I wish that everyone can meditate on this message that the young man has left us through. Congratulations for your courage. Congratulations for your dedication. Congratulations for your resilience, because in the face of this security situation that the country has been experiencing for a few years, you are among the most resilient actors of our nation. In the most backward areas under terrorist influence, we receive the account of our fighters, who make us know that very often the only state actors they meet in these areas are either teachers or very often actors of the world of health as well. Be grateful for this resilience, for this combativeness.
Welcome back to the African Streamline. I want to take this opportunity and to take this time to welcome you all to the African Streamline. I tell you every day that African Streamline is your home, and when you find yourself in African Streamline, just know that you are at home. Feel at home, feel safe, because this is your space as I dedicate to you every day and every moment. So anytime you are here, just feel safe, because this is a channel that belongs to you people, every black people from diaspora, from Caribbean, and from Africa in particular. When you find yourself in African Streamline, just know you are at the right place and just feel at home. Stay comfortably, stay tuned, and let's get after all things that we are getting after all the times. Thank you so much for being here at this time. We have listened to the video that Ibrahim Traore has spoken, and you know, sometimes when we talk about Ibrahim Traore, and sometimes when we talk about him saying that he is a leader and there is no any other leader whom we can find in Africa and apart from him, some people would think we are biased, or rather some people would just think these people just don't love us, okay? Some African politicians, maybe they are telling themselves, these people don't just love us. But I want you to tell me on the comment section, just write, especially those people who are coming from Africa, who are in Africa today, especially Africans who are in Africa today. Whatever your country, whatever the country you're in, I want you to tell me, when last did you hear your president, or rather, when last did you had, or rather, either on the news or anywhere, when last did you hear, or rather did you saw your president having a conversation like that one that we've just had? I want you to tell me, I want to know, when last did your president, or rather with your leader, had a conversation like the one we've just had? He had a conversation, he took teachers and students, he combined them together. He spoke to teachers one-on-one. He again spoke to children's one-on-one. He spoke to them all, telling teachers how they are supposed to teach children, how they are supposed to take care of children, how they are supposed to drive their children, and how they're supposed to guide them. He came back to children's. He taught them how they are supposed to respect their teachers, and how they're supposed to behave, how they're supposed to do things, their character-wise, behavior, and all those things. He spoke to them combined. This is a young man who is at the age of just 35. At the age of 35, he is a man who is full of wisdom. The wisdom he has, he is now spreading that wisdom even to the people who are older than him. He is a man who understands what he is supposed to do. He is not just a man who speaks anyhow, or do things anyhow. He thinks before doing things. He thinks before acting upon things. And he is a leader that has come out to be one of the special leaders we are having in Africa today. A leader that we think he is a godsend. We have called him a lot of names. We've given him a lot of names. We've called him a savior. We've called him a king. We've called him a lion. We've called him the man who is going to take us the promised land. We've called him many names. Okay, we've called him God sent. Okay, because the things he is doing, they are unbelievable things. We're not used to this kind of leadership. We're used to a kind of leadership that is full of dictates. We are used to a kind of leadership that people do things the way they want. They don't care about other people. Okay? We are used to a leadership that is full of corrupt. But this is a man who does not care about all those things. He only cares about people, the wellness of people, how people are supposed to be, how they're supposed to live, how they're supposed to be, how there's their existence, how their existence should be here on earth and in Burkina Faso and in Africa. He's a man who is fighting not only for Burkina Faso but for Africa in particular. Now, this man cares and he knows about tomorrow. And so he is not only considering the things that are happening today and issues that are coming up today, but he also sees the future, and he wants he's a man who is creating a certain kind of a future. Because he knows that people who are strong today, like people who will be strong tomorrow, are the youthful stage that we are having today. People who are youth today, people who are at an average ages today, are the people who are going to raise a certain place, or rather a certain country, or are going to raise a nation tomorrow. Because the strength of tomorrow are the youths of today, or a child of today. So it depends on how you're going to raise this child for you to be able to make a greater tomorrow. Because if you're going to raise a child today anyhow, then be sure, without fear, that tomorrow that child is going to be a disaster on your life. It's going to be a disaster on your life. He's going to mess up around. He's going to mess up with you, to mess up with your consciousness, and maybe to some point he can even, like, it depends on how you're raising your child. And he knows these things. In different occasions, you have seen Mr. Ibrahim Traore, the captain, the king himself, going to different places, associating with children, and trying to bond with children, to speak to them, as old as he is, to speak to small children and tell them how they're supposed to grow up, how they're supposed to be living. Because this is a man who understands that a greater tomorrow needs a child who has been raised well today. Okay? And it's not your first time, and it's not my first time. If you are someone who follows Ibrahim Traore at a very close range, it is not your first time you have seen Ibrahim Traore going to schools, going to children's home, and going to every places where children are gathered, gathering them together, speaking to them, okay, bonding with them. He also have to call even teachers and tell teachers, this is how you're supposed to raise these children. Because we have for a very long time lived under an umbrella where things were used to be forced on us. Lies every corner, as dictatorship kind of a rule, like being ruled and being told what we're supposed to do, being lied to, and you're being told this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. And at the same time, whatever you're being told is not good, it is good, but because someone who wants it wants you to see that it's bad so that you can leave it for him to take it, they lie to you. A system of education where our children are being misled because these people want to be on top of us and they want to stand and sleep on us, like to sit on us all the times, all the moments. And so they mislead our children today with their systems of education because they know a generation that will come tomorrow will be a generation that has already been misled, and therefore it's going to be very easy for them to continue conquering us all the times. And Ibrahim Traore is a man who knows the future, and he understands that a child who is existing today, he is going to be a pillar that is going to make a nation stand tomorrow. And therefore, the results of your nation tomorrow will be the state of your nation tomorrow will be resulted with the kind of a behavior you will have raised in a certain child today. Okay, this man is a man who understands what he is doing. He is a man who does not just do anything anyhow. This man does not even need someone to how do we call these people? Advisors. He is a man who understands already what he is supposed to be doing. He understands his mission. He understands his ways. I mean, I don't know how on earth would a man like this would have found himself in military, because this is a great mind which it's supposed to be leading a nation, to be leading people to great destinies, to be leading people, okay, to great missions, to great plans, to great ideas. Okay, this is a kind of a man who is supposed to lead people to a greater heights, and we are seeing it today. You know, sometimes it's unbelievable. Like sometimes we find no words to actually express our feelings and how we feel about Ibrahim Traore. When we tell you African leaders, you need to be leaders. You need to stop what you're doing and start leading. This is what we're talking about. When we tell you whatever you're doing isn't right and what you're doing is not what you're supposed to be doing, this is what we mean. When we tell you to have the qualities of a good leader, that there is no African leader today, apart from the 3 Sahel leaders, who have the qualities of leadership. This is what we mean. Come on, go ahead and acquire qualities of a good leader. We want leaders. We don't want people who are playing around with people's mind, people who are playing around with other people's Do you even care about what you're supposed to do? Do you even know why are you why were you selected to become a leader of a certain country? You don't know. And that is why you are doing things that when we look at them, we cannot even be able to tell what are you doing, because we are confused, we don't understand. Some of us are angry, some of us are just like we see you as useless people, as good for nothing. And it's not because we hate you, it's because you have given us no otherwise. You've left us with no reason but to see you as useless because of how you behave, how you do things, how you act upon things, and how you go about issues, how you make decisions, the choice you're making in our nations that are killing us. They are taking us into a deep sea where nobody can be able actually to fish us out of it. That is what you are doing, and we are really suffering. We really find it difficult to understand what kind of a leadership is this one you're portraying. And that is why we want you all to borrow the qualities of leadership from Ibrahim Traore. This man leads. This man leads. This man understands people. He understands what he's supposed to be doing. He's a man who is not guessing. He's not doing guesswork. He's a man who is sure about what he's doing. Like sometimes I find even difficult to understand. Like I don't know how can I go about this? How can I speak this so that people can understand? For God's sake. We have those leaders here in Africa who are beginning to open their eyes. Apart from the 3 Sahel leaders, we have those who are beginning to open their eyes. And their eyes being open is as a result of Ibrahim Traore coming up. Though some of them are still fearing. I don't know what do they fear. Maybe they fear being eliminated. But for how long should we continue staying under this kind of leadership because we fear? Should we suffer forever because fear has overcome us? Should we continue living under dictatorship because fear has overcome us? If we all decide to wake up and make a change, who is going to eliminate everybody? If it's not greedy that you're portraying and corruption. Because if all of us today make a decision and we decide to do some 1, 2, 3 things, we say this is the way we want to follow, all of us, nobody will do away with us. And these are the things I say every day. Because life of a human being and life of a citizen of a certain country, of a certain nation, of people of Africa, of a black man matters. And if indeed this life matters, then you as a person, you as an individual, you as a leader who has been chosen to lead these people, you also need to lead these people in a way that you also understand that their lives matters. Because only when you understand that a life of an individual, of a citizen of your country, of a black man, a black woman, a black kid matters, is when you can lead them in the right way. But not until you understand that, not until that comes into your mind and sticks into your mind, you may not be able to lead people in the right way. Why are we leading people in the wrong way? We are leading people in the wrong way because we see ourselves as more special than other people. We don't focus on them. We don't care about their well-being. We don't care about how they are doing. Like it's none of our business. What we care about is ourselves. And I call it selfishness all the times. Because that is the only best way to describe it. You want to live well. You want to stay well. You want to be protected by the foreign powers. And the people who made it happen, the people who voted for you, who woke up in the morning, they went to the ballot, they placed you into the government, you lied to them, you don't care about them. You care about other people that are far from your country. You care more about foreigners, but your people back at home, they're crying. Which kind of a charity is that you're showing a foreigner that you never began it from home? That charity should have commenced from home. A foreigner will only respect you when you respect your home. Children from the neighbor and neighbors will only respect you when you respect your mother and your father at home. But if you are disobedient at home, if at home you are someone that people, when they look at you, they say this boy is just disobedient, disrespectful, like everybody at home, there is nobody who likes you. How will people from outside respect and like you? They will pretend as if they respect and like you, and you will think they really respect and like you. But at the end of the day, they will just be using you because there is something they want from you. But that is not respect. No one can ever respect someone who does not respect his or her home. You need to start by respecting your mother and your father and your brothers and sisters, your siblings, for you to start earning respect outside. But if you cannot be able to do that, how do you expect people from outside to respect you? And if those people from outside develop some kind of friendship and good relationship with you, trust you me, they are developing, they are creating that kind of a relationship because there is something they want from you. And that is exactly what is happening with Africa and foreign countries and African politicians and foreign politicians. Those foreign politicians, the Western countries, the Westerners, the imperialists, the oppressors, the white man's supremacy. It is not that they like you so much that that's why they are calling you to come and sit with them on one table and discuss your issues with them. No, it's because there is something they need from you. So they keep you close to make you feel like you are being loved. They shower you with some kind of money and those old things because they want you to feel like they like you. But at the end of the day, it is not you they like. It is what you have that they love and they like, and that is what they want. That is what they are after. But nobody can respect someone who does not respect his people. And you see, why are we not respecting you as leaders? You see, why are the youths who are now coming up, do you know why they're not respecting you? Some are complaining. I had some complaining that, oh, children are misleading, they're misbehaving, they are even drawing president, they are making jokes with president, they are making like. And I'm asking myself, do you know why those children are doing that? Do you know why people from your own country, they cannot respect you? It is because you don't respect them. We can only respect people who respect people. Ibrahim Traore is a man who respects other people more than he even respects himself. He's a man who values other people more than he even values himself. And therefore, for him valuing other people and for him respecting other people, he doesn't even need to respect himself. He doesn't even need to value himself. Just by valuing other people and respecting other people, every black man, every African person who lives in Africa, who lives in Caribbean, who lives in diaspora, they value Ibrahim Traore and they respect him so much. Can you imagine how many people value Ibrahim Traore? How many people respect him? It's because he began by showing respect to the people of Africa by doing what he is supposed to be doing to the people of Africa. Caring for them, working for them, doing a work of a leader. And that is why you see people loving Ibrahim Traore and people caring for Ibrahim Traore. People valuing Ibrahim Traore. People respecting Ibrahim Traore. Because this is a man who has the qualities of a leader. And Kagame said a few days ago, we cannot continue living under dictatorship. Someone comes with a rule And he says, I think this is what is right. He thinks that is what is right. But he does not care about what we think is right. And therefore, you see, Captain Ibrahim Traore, he is bringing children on the table and teachers on the table. He wants to have a clear relationship between teachers connecting to children's and children's connecting to teachers and him, so that he can be able to smear out some wisdom and some teachings to them, telling them, if you want tomorrow to look this way, you need to act this way today. Teachers, you need to take this way, and this way. Children's, you need to respond this way, and this way. He is creating a generation that will speak things out of speaking and they come in action. Out of words and they come in action. He is impacting knowledge and impacting skills in those children that tomorrow will be a very significant thing to ever happen in Burkina Faso and in Africa in particular. Because if we have great minds in Burkina Faso, we are having great minds in Africa. We are looking forward to unite Africa. But how are we going to conquer this world? Africa is a great continent. Africa is a big continent. How are we going to conquer? Because as much as we are a big continent, and a continent that is valuable so much, a continent that has got everything to become stronger, all this time we have never had an opportunity to be strong. We have never had an opportunity to come out on lights and show ourselves out that we are really strong. We have never been able to pull this respect and to pull this state to ourselves and on our sides. They've always been on top of us in as much as we are strong. And so Ibrahim Traore has a strategy. This man does not only focuses on today. He is working today, but his mind, his thinking, his plans are not for today. He is looking so like he thinks far, not just now. He sees far, miles away, years to come. He is building a reputation. That is what Ibrahim Traore is doing. He is building a reputation, and he knows very well, if one day, one time, we shall want to conquer this world, then we need to impact knowledge to these children who are growing up. Because, trust you me, people who are shaking the world today, people who are making it very difficult for bad leaders to work smoothly today, are the Generation Zs, the youths. Old men cannot do it. Old men cannot work it out. They're beginning to get tired. But we young men, we young people of Africa, are the people who are making it difficult for leaders who are corrupt and greedy to work smoothly in those governments today. And Ibrahim Traore understands that. That is why he is impacting knowledge on those children and telling them, you know what? This is what you're supposed to be doing, and this is what you're supposed to be living. I want to call upon all African leaders. This is a time to change. This is a time to make a change. This is a time to decide and say, this is the way to go. Life is not easy. People out here, they are calling upon you. People out here want to see. We elected a leader. This leader is in the government. What is he doing for us? Those African leaders who are oppressing people. You are oppressing your fellow black man, your fellow black brother, your fellow black sister. You don't care about them. They are crying every day, but you don't care about them. And this is something that I speak every day. And I told myself, and I dedicated myself to this work. I said, I'm going to speak these things until the end, to my last breath. Because you need to be told, you need to hear, until it gets to your head. Until the day we shall have leaders who will lead this country and this African nation, African continent in the right way. People want to see you working for the people. People want to see you doing right things and leading people in the right way. You know, how comes you can oppress your black brother, your black sister? You are joining hands with a white man to oppress your parents at home. Okay, let me you put it this way. You and your neighbor joining hands so that you can be able to fight your parents at home and your brothers at home. Is that right? Do you think what you're doing is right? Stop abducting people. Stop oppressing people. Stop corruption. Stop being greedy, because all these things have an end. They will come to an end. But when you're not there anymore, when you're finally out of that place, what will you say? What will you do? How will you speak to people? How will you present yourself to people? Will you go and live abroad with Donald Trump because he used you? Will you go and live in France with Emmanuel Macron? Or will you retire and live here in Africa, here in Kenya, here in Nigeria, here in Burkina Faso? Will you go to live abroad? Or will you retire and stay here in South Africa, here in Angola, here in Niger? When you finally retire, will you go and live abroad? Or you will stay here in Burkina Faso? Will you go there, or will you stay here in Senegal? Will you stay here in Africa, or will you go and live abroad with those people who used you? Let me tell you something. African leaders are being used like tissue papers. When someone uses you, and then dumps. Because you only become valuable to white men and to the Western powers. You only become valuable to the imperialists, to the white man's supremacy, when you are on power. But the moment you are out of that place, they really don't care about you. They drop you, they take other people, they start moving with them. So for how long do you want that to continue happening? For how long do you want that to continue happening? You're being used. What you've forgotten is that you'll not be used forever. A time will come when you'll not be needed anymore. You'll become useless. Like, for example, in Kenya, 2 terms, 10 years, you'll be used for 10 years. But after 10 years, you'll be dumped, and someone else will be taken, and that thing will continue and continue and continue. We have asked you to stop. You can't stop it. We shall stop it ourselves. And we have started with the King Ibrahim Traore. He's showing us the way. We are following that way until the end. At the end of the day, that's just my opinion. Do let me know, my people, what do you have to say in the comment section about this. Do let me see you typing on the comment section. I'll do my best to make sure I read all of them and reply where possible. Thank you so much for being in African Streamline. But whenever you get an opportunity as a black man, as a black brother and sister in Caribbean, in diaspora, in Africa, anytime you get an opportunity to address a leader, address them and tell them the truth, because only the truth will set us free. If we don't talk, nobody else will talk on behalf of us. We have the opportunity, we have the authority, we have the mandate to talk. Because if we don't talk, nobody will talk on our behalf. It's only we who are supposed to talk. You are the only person who is supposed to talk. Because if you don't talk, nobody else will talk on your behalf. Let's be vigilant. Let's address them appropriately and tell them the truth. Africa is home. Africa ni nyumbani, as I say every day. And anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as African people. I salute you guys. Adios.